Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the Two Noble Kinsmen, and we get to hear from Arcite today. Arcite and Palamon, these two cousins. We're still in Act 3, Scene 1. These two cousins who were imprisoned, and then Arcite was banished, and then he dressed up like a slob so that he could play in a tournament where he won a position in service of Emilia, and he's been sort of bragging about this because it's May Day, and he's like, haha, and there's horses, and I could run away with her, and wouldn't that be great? And then there's Palamon, who was freed from prison by the jailer's daughter, who's in love with him, but he's not in love with her, he's in love with Emilia, and he overheard Arcite saying, isn't this great, and if only Palamon could see me now, ha ha ha. And Palamon jumped out and said, I can see you now, and you don't deserve to call yourself my cousin because you're horrible and you're a liar and you are not a gentleman and all that sort of a thing. And Arcite is like, if you just, and Palamon's like, yeah, yeah, smooth this over with your words. Yeah, because that's going to work. And Arcite says, not finding in the circuit of my breast any gross stuff to form me like your blazon, holds me to this gentleness of answer. 'Tis your passion that thus mistakes, the which to you being enemy cannot to me be kind. Honor and honesty I cherish and depend on. Howsoever, you skip them in me, and with them, fair coz, I'll maintain my proceedings. Pray be pleased to show in generous terms your griefs, since that your questions with your equal, who professes to clear his own way with the mind and sword of a true gentleman. So what he's saying here is, I'm better than you, because I'm like, you're gross now, but I'm better than you. And because I'm better than you, I have to be polite about this whole thing. Since you are questioning my honor and my honesty, the only way to settle this, since you're so angry and not willing to talk, the only way to settle this is with the sword. So we're going to have to fight. And then they get into a little back and forth of like, you know, honestly, you think that fighting me, like, you think that you can fight your way out of this? And yeah, I can fight my way out of this, and blah, blah, blah. And Palamon's like, I will totally kick your butt if I didn't have these shackles on, and if I had something to eat, because I'm really hungry. And maybe also, can I have a sword? And Arcite's like, yeah, go hide in those bushes, your fancy new home, those bushes that you were hiding in before, because this whole May Day thing is going on that I have to go take care of, because you may have heard I get to help out with this sort of thing. You know, I have things that I have to do, but I'll bring you a file to take off the shackles, and I'll bring you some food, and I'll bring you a sword, and then once you're ready for it, we can have a duel to like settle this whole thing. And Palamon's like, okay, fine, fine, that sounds good. So they agree that that's going to happen. Palamon's going to go and just continue hiding out in the bushes. Arcite will bring him the stuff that also the jailer's daughter is supposed to be bringing him. She went off to find a file and some food and some other clothes for Palamon, but apparently Palamon isn't paying attention to that. So anyway, he's going to hide and wait for that. Arcite is supposedly going to bring him some supplies, and then like the horn sound saying that the Mayday stuff is happening. So Arcite has to go and attend to that. So they leave their separate ways, Palamon to continue hiding, and Arcite to go and help with the Mayday stuff. And that's the end of Act 3, Scene 1. So tomorrow in Act 3, Scene 2, we get to hear from the jailer's daughter again. So we're probably going to get an update on how all of this is going from her perspective. Because I believe Act 3, Scene 2 is just another, she gets to do a monologue and that's the whole scene, I think. We'll verify that tomorrow. Anyway, I'll see you then for that. Mwah.